Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashwini and today we are going to start up a new series that is Python programming for the second PUC students. So I have seen multiple number of videos in YouTube where Python program has been uploaded, but none of the videos are up to the mark. So that is what my personal feeling is. So seeing all the drawbacks of these things, I have started this new series of where I'm going to explain you all the program with logic and show you all the output. Okay. So this is Karnataka board Python programming language. So this is your main lab program. Okay. So the first part of my video will be about definition of the problem. Okay. Definition of the problem, problem statement. Okay. Secondly, I'm going to explain you all the logic, which is very important while writing. So why it is very important? Because if you by heart the program, you will end up with no output. Okay, no output means you are not going to get a proper output. Always remember that you need to give a right output. You have to get a right output. So for that, if you remember the logic, the remaining statements you can jumble up and write something when you know the logic. Okay, if you write the statements anywhere you want, but the logic is proper and whether it is functioning properly, that time you don't have to by heart any of the program. Just read the definition of the problem, then remember the logic, then you can start writing the program. Next part of the video will be after explaining the logic, I'm going to show you all the programs. Next is I'm going to explain you all the program with output. Okay. After that, I'm going to run the program. I'm going to run the program in different interface or different editors. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do in my video. So firstly, let me explain you all the first program. I hope till here, whatever I have told you all, it is understood what I'm going to do in my programming series. So this next 10, 15, how much ever the program you have, so many number of videos I'm going to release. In all the videos, I'm going to first explain the definition of the problem statement. Then I'm going to explain you all the mathematical logic function. So whatever the mathematical part is there in that we are going to see. Next, we are going to see the program. Then with program I'm going to show you all the output. Then the last part of the sessions will be like running the program in different editors. Okay, so this is about it. I hope you all are clear with this, and this part again and again in each and every videos I'm not going to explain. So this will be my pattern of explaining in next 15 or 20 videos. Okay, I hope you are clear about this. So till here, if you have listened my video till now, like 3 minutes, it means that somewhere my videos are good. So if you feel that my videos are good, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Okay. So coming to the program. Okay. Let me explain you all the first program. So first program is, let me show you all what is the program here. So program definition is write a Python program, write a Python program using a function. So you are going to use a function to print the Fibonacci series up to n numbers. Okay. So what is this? Okay. So coming here, you are going to write a Python program using functions. Remember what is a function? So function is nothing but you have a set of instructions or set of lines of program where it is doing a particular task. So in this program, the particular task it is going to do is printing a Fibonacci number. Okay, printing a Fibonacci number. That is what the task it is doing. So firstly, I'm going to ask you all, what is Fibonacci series? Okay, one second. So what is a Fibonacci number? I hope you all know it. So if you don't know, concentrate here. So initially what you're going to do in your program is, first you're going to initialize 0 and 1 in your program. That will be your number 1 and number 2. So now what is Fibonacci number is, when you add previous two output or previous two numbers, you're going to get a new series. What is 0 plus 1? It is 1. You got your new series, right? So again, you're going to add the next previous two output. So that is 1 plus 1. You're going to add this 1 plus 1. It is going to give you 2. Now, next you are going to add, let me change the color for y'all. Okay, let it be. So next you are going to add 1 plus 2. What is the output? 1 plus 2 is 3. Next is, you are going to add the previous two output, that is 2 and 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. Next you are going to add 3 plus 5, that is 8. Next you are going to add 8 plus 5. 8 plus 5 is 13. Right? So this is what your Fibonacci number is. Adding the previous two output or adding the previous two numbers, and you are going to get a new number. This series is called as Fibonacci series. Also, you need to remember the first part of your program. That is, first you need to initialize 0 and 1 in your program. Okay, that is the first step. Second step is, you're going to add these two numbers and you're going to get a new number. Again, when you do the next series, you're going to add previous two numbers. Previous two numbers you're going to add, you're going to get a new output. Again, you're going to add the previous two numbers. You're going to get a new value. So this adding of previous two values, that is called as Fibonacci numbers. Okay, now you know what is Fibonacci series. This is my Fibonacci series. Okay, n number. So remember that you have to give a n value. The user is going to give the n value. Okay, so this is about the program. So what is the program? The first point is, you are going to write a Python program using a function. Next, you need to print a Fibonacci series up to n numbers. What is the n number? N number is, user is going to give the n number. So this is the problem statement. My first part of the video is completed. Till here, if you have understood, it means that the next step you are going to understand easily. Okay. So till here, if you have come up to till this video, means it means that whatever I am teaching, you are able to understand. I hope you are able to understand. If you have any doubt, please don't forget to leave a comment so that I'll give the answer for it. Okay. If you have liked this video, please make sure you're going to like this video. Coming to the next part of the program, writing the logic or explaining the logic. Logic of the program. Logic of the program. So let me explain you all the logic. So what is the logic here? Firstly I told you all, you should, for the Fibonacci, you need to give 0 and 1. So that is your first two numbers. So num1 will be 0 and num2 will be 1. So this is my first series of the program, that is 0 and 1. Okay. Always remember, I told you all, when you add these two numbers or you are going to add the previous two numbers, you are going to get a new value. That is the next value or next number. Right. So next number will be adding these two numbers. Right. So this is what the first step is. First step, I hope you have understood. So these two numbers has to be printed now. So when you want to print this number, you have to write a printing statement, right? So you are going to print a printing statement, printing statement, print. You are going to print number one, num1, okay, comma, space, okay, comma number two. So then I'm going to mention it end, end, and I'm going to give a space here. Why this space is given, I'll show you all in the execution of the program. So this I am printing number one and number two. Okay. Next is I need to write a while statement. Okay. So why I need to uh, take a while statement, because here you have multiple number of statement up to n number you need to print it, right? So if I give you n value has 5, 5 iteration it has to be printed. So what I'll do, I'll take up a while statement. So while count will be less than or equal to n. Why this statement I have given? Because n is the user input that user is going to give the final value. Till how many number of iteration my program has to execute. So what is this count? Every time it is going to increment, because every time I need one output here. After getting every new output, my count value has to be increased, so that fifth value it has to be printed. Okay. So that is why I have taken a while statement telling that count less than or equal to n. Okay. After that, I need to the printing statement. Why I need to print? I need to print my new num1 and num2. Num1, okay, and num2. Okay. Num1 and num2 I need to print. I'll give an end statement here. Okay. Then I need to increment my count value by 1. You can give either count plus plus or count plus equal to 1. Okay. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign my new value of num1 and num2. So num1 comma num2 is equal to num2 comma my next value, next number. Okay. So why I have given this? So my num2 will go to num1. My new value, next value will be assigned to num2. Okay, first I'm going to transfer whatever it's there in num2, I'm going to transfer it to num1. Now my num2 will be empty. So whatever the next value is there, that will be shifted to num2. Okay. So my next number has to be updated, right? Next number should be num1, num1 plus num2. So my 0, 1. So my number 1 is 0, number 2 is 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So my new value has to be stored in next value. Again, what it will do, again it will go back in the next iteration. In my second iteration, it will go back. Count value will be incremented by 1. Initially count was 1, so now count is incremented to 2. So 2 is less than or equal to 5. My n value is 5. Remember, I have given n value has 5 here. So same n value will be taken here. So my n value is 5. So now my n1. So n1 is 1. n2 is whatever the new value I'm going to get 1. Okay, count will be incremented by plus 1. That is, count is 3. Updated value is 3 here. Now, whatever it's there in num1, that is already printed. So now I need to get my num2. Num2 is 1 itself. 1 will be shifted to number 1. My next value will be num2. So num2 is 1 plus 1, it is 2. So 2 will be assigned to num2. It will go back here. My new num1 value is 1. My num2 value is 2. So it will go here. It will print my number 1 and number 2 value, that is 1 and 2 will be printed. Count value will be incremented to 4. It comes here. Again my num2 value. Num2 value will be shifted to num1. My new num1. My new num1. My new num1 will be 2. My new num2 will be empty because no next value will be there. So it will go to the next statement, num1 plus num2. What is my num1? Num1 is 1, num2 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3. My new next number will be 3. So that will be assigned to num1 and num2 here. So num1 will be 2, num2 will be 3. Okay, here we are swapping the number here. Remember that here we are doing the swapping here. Again, I'm going to add my num1 and num2, that is 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 will be added to 5. It becomes 5. Okay, my new num1 and num2 will be printed. Like this, it keep on going up to n value is 5. Once when n value is less than or equal to 5, up to 5, it is going to execute this particular while loop. Once when it is executed, it will come out of the loop and it will show you the output. So this is how the logic works. Okay, so this is my logic. My next part of the program or my next part of the explanation of the video will be about the program. So now I'll explain you all the program. So let me show you all. Let me switch the screen here. So here you can see my screen here. I hope the screen is visible here. So let me explain you all this program. How does this program work? Okay. So firstly, always remember it comes to the input statement. Here you can see n is equal to int of input, enter the limit, right? So it will take the n value here. So let me run it once again for y'all. My output screen is empty. My first line of the program is n is equal to int of input, enter the limit. So input is a statement where it is going to take an input from the user. So whatever it's there in the double code, that is printed on the output screen. Can you see here? Enter a limit. So what kind of element you are going to input is integer type. Here can you see integer type input you are going to give through the keyboard. So whatever the value you give here, that will be taken as an input and stored in n. So I have given the input value as 5. So 5 is taken and it is stored in n. So now it goes to the function definition. Before that, my function, remember the question, write a Python program using functions. Using functions they have told. So I have taken I have taken one function fib of n. So what is my n? N is 5. Whatever the input I have given here, that has to be given as a parameter here. So Fibonacci of 5 it is taken. Okay. Once when this statement encounters, it will search for the definition, user defined definition. So where is my user defined function? Can you see here? Def of Fibonacci of n. So what is n? 5. So this is my definition. This is my definition. It comes inside the definition number 1 and number 2. Number 1 and number 2 is assigned with the value 0 and 1. Okay. My next number will be number 2. So whatever it's there in number 2, that is swapped to next number. Now count is 2. Why this count is 2? Because already we have the first number and the second number here. So already count is 2, right? Number 1, number 2, I have already initialized to 0 and 1 by default. Right? So my count value has to start from 2, right? Total count value is 5. Already 2, I have taken the value 0 and 1. So I have taken count is equal to 2 because number 1 and number 2 already it is initialized with 0 and 1. Right? So it goes to the printing statement. It prints number 1 and number 2. So what is there in number 1? 0. What is there in number 2? It is 1. So 1 and 2 is printed in this printf, like in this printing statement. Then it comes to the next statement. My while loop has to be executed until my n value fails. Until my n value fails. Okay. So my count value is 2. 2 is less than or equal to 5. Condition true. It comes inside whatever the next number. Next number can you see here? Next number I have given as number 2. So with this printing statement, it is going to print your second number, that is 1, because we have assigned number 2 to next number. Now count value will be incremented by 1. Count plus equal to. This is an operator where count is equal to count plus 1. So that is the meaning of this. Okay. So here we are swapping the number 1 and number 2 to number 1 and number 2. So my number 1 will be having number 2. So what is there in number 2? It is 1. So 1 is shifted to number 1. My number 2 is shifted with number next number. Okay. So my next number is number 1 plus number 2. So what is there in number 1? 0. What is there in number 2? 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Okay. Again it will go back. Loop will be 3. So 3 here the next number it is going to take. Then count value will be incremented by 1 and here swapping happens. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So the value number 1 will be 1 and number 2 will be 2. Again number 1 plus number 2 it is going to happen. Number 1 is 1, number 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 3. My next number is 3. Okay. Again it goes back. Again the next number 3 will be printed here. It comes here. Count value will be incremented by 1. That is 3 plus 1 is 4. Again here swapping happens. So number 2 will be having 2. Okay. So 2 will be assigned to number 1. Number 2 will be assigned with next number. So next number will be number 1 plus number 2. That is 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 is added to number like next number. So like this it keep on executing. So let me explain you all here showing an output here. So enter the limit. I'll enter 5. Can you see? Initially 0 plus 1. 0, 1 is printed here. Whatever number 1 and number 2 is there, that is printed here. Okay. So I have given one endl statement. That is why we have got a space here. Next count value is from 2. So first initially number 1 will be 1. Okay. Number 1 will be 0. Number 2 will be 1. So 1 plus 0 is 1 itself. So here I got 1. Right. So again it goes back. Count value will be incremented by 1. So my number 2 value is 1. Number 1 value is also 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So now again it goes back. Count value is incremented to 4. So my number 1 will be 1. Number 2 will be 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3. My next number is 3. Again while statement incremented by 1. So it is 5. Again, my previous value will be number 1 will be 2, number 2 will be 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. My In this statement, it is going to print my 5. Again, count value will be incremented to 1. So that is 6. So again, number 1 will be 5. Number 2 will be like 6. Again, it goes back. Count is 6 less than or equal to 5. Condition fails. The next number is not going to be printed. It will come out of the statement and the print statement will be executed, and whatever the elements are there, that is there in 1 and 2, totally like each and every while statement, it will keep on printing on the output screen. When the execution of the, or once the loop ends, the printing of the statement in the output screen will be ended, and it will show you the output. So this is how it is going to be executed. I hope you understood the logic as well as the number of iteration that I have done. Okay, so if you have liked this video, please make sure you're going to like this video, leave a comment, whatever the doubt it might be, leave a comment. Okay, share as much as possible so that multiple number of students, it is going to be helpful for them. Okay, so I'll just show you all one more uh, Python, like whatever the software you are going to use it in your lab, that I'm going to show you all. Okay, I'll execute, and once I'll show you all those things. So I'll copy this, I'll press enter key, enter the limit, I'll give 5. So can you see 0, 1, 1, 2, 3 and 5. So this is how you're going to give a input and you're going to get the output. So this is how you're going to print it on the like Python software. So this is an online website where like colors are different and it is easy to explain here. So that is why I have taken, and simultaneously I got the output here. That is why I showed you all in the online compiler, but you are going to do it in your Python software in your exam. Okay, I hope you like this video. So thank you guys for listening till so long. So each and every program, it requires this number of minutes to explain properly your programs. Okay, so my next video will be based upon both Kannada as well as English. So make sure you're going to come back and see the next video. Thank you.